Kanye's mega canceled. Let's talk about that. His Drink Champs rant that has now been removed. I watched an hour and a half of it before it got removed. I'm sure I could watch the rest of it on Rumble or something if I want.
You watching on Kiki's page?
Part of it.
Well played. Well played.
I love that I like teach Kiki about YouTube and that he interprets that as like re-upload the Kanye interview on your page.
It's pretty smart.
This shit's skeezer.
I don't understand, but that has been like a weird thing to be taken in. Kanye seems like he might actually be canceled for real. Like all his like connections in the fashion industry. This motherfucker, keep in mind, he's been marching around wearing a Balenciaga mouth guard for the last couple months, or days throughout the last couple months, and now they've dropped him and said that they're not fucking with him.
I don't think Kanye can be canceled.
He can't. But I also I feel
But
like
he's clearly being canceled from a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they're
I feel
definitely
like
going to try.
We already
but
talked about the bank account.
right, but that had happened previous to the interview already.
Right.
Like he had already, and so that's from the initial comments about Jews, and then they were like, "You can't bank with us no more."
Right.
But it's the problem is it's two things. I feel like he's making these statements in order to see how far he could push the not being canceled narrative. Like, what can I get away with? How far can I go? And it's also perpetuating this almost Tupac-esque me against the world ideology.
He's taken on this contrarian perspective where he wants to be the one saying the things that everybody else isn't willing to say. And for real, like some of the anti-Semitic shit is like the stuff that you will just hear people say
For sure.
in conversation. Like we've all heard people say that kind of stuff, but nobody says it publicly because everybody's scared of the Jews because they're hella powerful. And we see it all the time, like with the Nick Cannon shit. If Nick Cannon had said a bunch of shit that was offensive about Chinese people or fucking, I don't know, like fucking white people, whatever, like that wouldn't have done anything. He said it about Jewish people and it got him fucking his whole shit canceled.
And
They
that's
took
the
Wild
fucked
and
up
Out
part.
everything.
Yeah.
And that's the fucked up part about it is it kind of validates everything that he
he's
was
saying.
saying.
All this shit is a self-fulfilling prophecy for sure.
Right.
Because he's right. They're hella fucking organized and are able to exert a lot of pressure. And when you see like American Apparel not being willing to release the shirts that that they printed for him or whatever of this whole Tremendez campaign that he's on, where he's trying to discredit fucking Tremaine, the creative director of Supreme, it's like, that's pretty fucking extreme when the t-shirt printer isn't going to give you your shit and you got to go give it out in Skid Row. And you see now Kanye's getting a different level of treatment because Rolling Stone just put out an article that says Kanye is seen in Skid Row giving out t-shirts with alleged rapist Ian Connor,
With
whatever.
Ian Connor.
They're doing everything they can to fucking smear him now.
Every time I hear Ian Connor's name, I just think of Lil Pump and Smoke Perp being like, "Fuck Ian Connor."
Remember that?
That beef was amazing.
That's a walk down memory lane.
He's a bitch ass lame called Ian Connor.
I remember seeing that and being like, I don't know if this is a good idea.
Do you think that if he's successful with buying Candace Owens' husband's social media app,
Parler,
Parler.
which is a hardcore right wing,
but very unpopular. Like
very unpopular.
much less popular than Rumble or Truth Social, even, which are both themselves. I mean, Truth Social is really struggling, but I feel like even that's way bigger than Parler.
Well,
but do you think Kanye could
blow
make
it up,
make it cool and blow it up? Because right now,
can he make it more popular than it is?
Absolutely.
For sure.
For
Is he
sure.
going to make it an actual mainstay when fucking Trump wasn't able to really make Truth Social much of a thing? I kind of doubt it.
Trump is
But
not moving the
He's
needle.
the president.
But here's the thing,
he's
though.
the president, but Kanye, he makes shit cool.
Yeah,
he does make
dude,
shit cool, but in its
how cool
essence-
is the STEM player?
Right. But
How cool is Yeezy right now? They're not selling like they were
the
a year
STEM
or two
player
ago.
was cool.
The STEM player was the
essence.
product was dope.
Yeah.
but it's a lot of people that's gonna pay $200 for something.
No.
Didn't
in
exactly
today's
take
time.
the world by storm. Let's be real.
The thing is this: him having platforms like Parler, the whole like appeal of it is there's no regulation. You could say whatever you want. Censorship doesn't exist.
But you still need. They still have plenty of regulation
But-
from the
but
beginning
here's the
because the
thing.
App Store is not going to allow them to exist if they're
If they don't have
allowing
no rules.
hate speech, people planning political violence, that type of shit. Like from the get go, they have to end up blocking a lot of fucking people.
to a certain extent, but it's way more free speech. But
Yes.
even then, it's just going to become it's a shit show ultimately, and everyone's just running their mouth saying a bunch of bullshit. The fact, like, although it might be annoying to be on platforms like Facebook and Twitter because they are way more heavily regulated, you're actually reaching an audience.
Kanye from day one, if he takes over Parler, he's gonna have to deal with the reality that there's a lot of people that he probably agrees with who have really extreme racial ideas that he's gonna have to keep off the platform because Apple's not gonna allow it to be in the App Store if they allow like true free speech on there.
I think it's a perfect
1000%.
time though, because Instagram right now is like super fucked up right now.
Man, imagine me just waking up every day and going live, working out on Parler.
The average Parler user is a 40-something, ultra-conservative, I'm just going to go out and say it, racist middle American.
But maybe I should assign Yuri with being our Rumble poster who posts all the No Jumper content on Rumble. I wonder, like,
Is Rumble, like, popular
Is
right
there
now?
anything that we could actually gain from posting our content on there?
What do you do on Rumble?
It's just a social network,
Yeah,
but it's
I
like a
think it-
right-wing owned social
well, I
network.
think definitely posting interviews that pertain to that audience, like the Nick Fuentes, if you posted
For
it
sure
there.
we could post it on there.
That'd be smart.
What's his name? Mrs. Girl or whatever the fuck.
Mr. Girl.
Yeah.
How dare you fuck up his pronouns? Misgendering Mr. Girl. How dare you?
Lady guy, whatever.
No, if you want to, if you want to have a good time, you got to go watch the interview with Mr. Girl and Jesse Lee Peters or Peterson, whatever the fuck his name is. It's like, and then watch Destiny with Jesse Lee as well. It will blow your mind, and I'm dying to hear your reaction to it.
It's totally like they're just like talking about different kids they touched. Like,
Just wait, just wait. Man. But yo, I hate it that I'm gonna have to watch that Mr. Girl interview again to hear Destiny react to it at a certain point.
He did already?
I just know he's going to react to it because it's going to be super interesting to him because he's kind of like, that's been Destiny's thing is he brings in these weird characters into his universe, and that's where Nick Fuentes came in, is that he's like so fucking canceled and Destiny's so far left, but he's still going to platform this fucking abhorrent white supremacist whatever to get his perspective, which I personally really look at as something that I find kind of inspirational. Like, you should be willing to have these conversations with people that you disagree with.
right, absolutely. If it becomes an echo chamber and there's no voice of dissension, then at a certain point it's just boring. It's the same person talking to themselves, essentially.
Yeah.
And that's why I always say, as much as he gets on people's nerves, Flacco is a vital component to the No Jumper universe. Because, like, without Flacco on the Monday show, it would hit a lot different. Him creating these arguments and going against.
I agree.
Yeah, it's imperative.
But the line and the question is to what extent can you not platform conspiracy theorists, and who's a conspiracy theorist versus who is just like a genuine person. Like, as much as Nick Fuentes has a bunch of rotten ideas from our perspective, it didn't really feel like he was trying to convince us of some crazy plot against, like he did veer into it with the race realism shit or whatever, but it's not, to me it hits different than when I listen to Candace Owens, where I feel like she is actually preaching straight bullshit.
Well, I mean, anything that tries to flip the consensus to white people are being oppressed,
Right.
essentially, that's veering on a conspiracy theory in and of itself.
Well, yeah, white lives matter, Lush.
Apparently.
It's the new wave.
Apparently.
The thing in the
I like the Most Def shirt where he took the V out
Right.
and it says "White Lives Matter."
That's
I thought that
hard.
was kind
is
of
Most Def fully on board with the White Lives Matter movement?
I doubt it.
I think he's definitely not.
Bro, you think if you go to like Rolling Loud next week that there's gonna be kids rocking that shit? You think that should be considered hard? And the Supreme line.
It definitely, it's super edgy, bro.
Right.
Like, I'll tell you, if there's like black kids wearing it, that would make sense. I could definitely see that.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
The edgy ones.
Yeah.
Push the line a little bit.
The same.
A white kid wearing it's way different.
Yeah, it holds.
Yeah, why?
has a different
Why did
accent.
Kanye not choose any white models when he was doing this? Couldn't get any
That's
of his.
besides the point.
None of his white homies could show up to model that. I'm not surprised. Which of his white friends would actually model that?
Bieber.
Hell no.
I know.
Hell no.
I know. I'm just saying, like,
Bieber,
Lush.
Bieber
Yeah,
management
exactly what it
team, Bieber management team mobilized to stop him. They would be attacking him, dragging him away from the photo shoot to keep him from being photographed anywhere near that shirt.
but let him hold up some activists. If it was
That was
like,
a different era.
I love Kanye so much. I'm like a huge I'm a permanent resident of Jigistan, USA.
Bro.
So anything that's
I have a graduation.
Jigistan?
I have a
Jigistan.
graduation
That's a
tattoo
Kanye
on me.
fandom thing?
no, it's a Jay-Z fandom thing.
Oh.
A graduation tattoo on me. You know what I'm saying?
You dig? So
It's
anything that's
Dick riding.
anything that's
That's Dick Run.
anything Jay-Z adjacent, which includes all Rockefeller artists and definitely includes Ye, I'm a proponent of. And everything through what the Kanye that stole my heart is obviously College Dropout through my Dark Twisted Fantasy era Ye, which is some of the best music
All
ever
classic
made.
ever.
You know what I mean? And on a political, social justice sphere, him saying George Bush doesn't care about black people. That era of Ye right there really speaks to me. But I still, like, I know that I'm a mere mortal, so a lot of his tactics, a lot of the things that he does may be beyond my comprehension, and I'm willing to say that I might not understand all of his motives, and I'm just a regular guy. But at the end of the day, I don't know what I would do if Kanye hit me like, yo, hey, I like this Lush One guy. I want you to be a part of this campaign. I'd be so psyched to be like, fuck yeah.
Do you think you could do more good from the inside?
No, I don't, but I feel I don't think
You want to be part of the bad shit.
he doesn't listen to anything. Like, he's beyond conversation at this point. You
Right.
can't tell him shit. Clearly, he doesn't listen to
You
anyone.
seen him on CNN? He's like, la 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 la.
Yeah, he's not here. He's not hearing nothing. Nobody can do him besides a Candace Owens. That's the
Right.
only way to influence him. But if he was like, okay, here's the shirt I want you to wear, and it was the White Lives Matter shirt,
Right.
I'd be like, fuck, oh, what do I do in this instance?
That would
Like,
haunt you forever. That
Yeah.
would be your whole thing.
Yeah, that'd be-
Every time you beef with anybody, that would be the first fucking thing that they bring up.
I
It's
can't.
just-
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. But then, like, to see the look of disappointment in Ye's face as I refused the White Lives Matter shirt. Like,
yeah, he would call you a cuck.
yeah, for sure. He'd be
For
like,
sure.
"Use a liberal cuck," and I'd be like, "I, Pete Davidson, cucked you out, my boy." What you finna say? Skeet cucked you out, my boy.
Yeah, he called Pete a heroin addict on that Drink Champs thing.
Yo, he sent that fool to the on a 72-hour hold, dog. He got 5150.
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. Appreciate y'all.